So I want to talk about SmackDown last night. Not necessarily confirmed, but it's happening. I mean, it's been talked about for a while that night one of WrestleMania will be The Rock and Roman Reigns together as the Bloodline versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, and that because of that, night two of WrestleMania will be Cody and Roman closing out the show with the big main event. And earlier in the show, Drew McIntyre and Seth. So both world title matches are going to be on night two. Instead, I believe they're going to have the women's matches on night one. That way, both nights get world title matches. I think that makes sense. 2 and 2. Now, something else that was discussed is that The Rock, his challenge was if the Bloodline wins the match, then it's Bloodline rules the next night. So Jimmy, Solo, The Rock. I mean, WWE just signed Tama Tonga. That, for all intents and purposes, could end up being like a surprise. He could end up being in the Bloodline. He's related to him in a way. And then you've got, and that's if the heels win night one. Now, if the baby faces win night two, then that means that Cody will get his shot at Roman with no interference, with nothing. The Bloodline is banned from ringside. And this actually makes a lot of sense for the story they're going to tell on night two. Now, I told you all a year ago that after Cody lost, I'm like, they're running it back next year. It makes sense. They've done the same storyline with Dusty Rhodes. They did it with Shawn Michaels once. It's logical booking. Get Cody hotter than he was before. And honestly, it's risky, but it worked out. So this makes a lot of sense. Now, I see some people saying that the baby faces are going to win night one so that Roman can win night two, and that's not happening. What's going to happen is this. Let me break it down for you. So the heels are going to win night one. So either Cody or Seth are going to lose to Rock and Roman. Now, before we get to my detail here about why I'm saying that, is because obviously they're already teasing a Rock Roman Reigns thing. When they point up at the sky or whatever, Rock always has his thumb out doing like the L sign. It's very subtle. Roman Reigns asked Rock to acknowledge him, and then Rock did it, begrudgingly so, and it really felt like that's the beginning of the tease. And we talked about on a bunch of these videos how Rock is turning babyface at some point to feud with Roman. We're going to get that match either in Saudi or at WrestleMania next year. Now I'm thinking WrestleMania next year because I think it gives The Rock plenty of time to get his body back into shape. Because for the WrestleMania tag match, he only has to do some of the work because you got 3 other guys who are in their prime, especially they're all workhorses. So The Rock doesn't have to really exert himself. But if it's a one-on-one match, that's a different story. The Rock doesn't have to really work at it. It gives him a year to really get in shape. Yeah, he'll be a year older, but it's still better to be in better ring shape than just to be younger and not be in ring shape. So clearly, if you watch SmackDown, they're already teasing the breakup. And it's going to happen at some point. Now, what I think is going to end up manifesting itself is I think the heels are going to win night one. Then for night two, there's going to be all kinds of shenanigans. Jimmy might be out there. Solo might be out there. But then you've also got Cody's backup. You've got Seth Rollins. You've got Jey Uso. You've got possibly Randy Orton. You've got possibly Sammy and Kevin. You've got a lot of guys who have heat with the Bloodline. I mean, think about all the people the Bloodline screwed over throughout the years. But those are the ones that are probably the most prolific. So they can come out there, make the save for Cody. And I think the big twist is going to be that Rock will come out and screw over Roman Reigns. I think that The Rock will screw Roman at WrestleMania night 2. Now, I'm not saying The Rock is going to go in there and take the victory away from Cody. I'm not saying he's going to help Cody win by doing all the work for him. I'm saying that he will stop interference, whether it be from Solo or Heyman or whoever. He will turn babyface on Roman. Roman will be screwed. Cody will get the title. Roman's going to be pissed off, and we're going to have our Civil War, our Bloodline Civil War storyline kick off. This time with The Rock and Roman Reigns. It makes logical sense. It's logical booking. It's literally It's literally very simple storytelling, but executed well. When you really think about it, there's a lot of stories, not just in wrestling, but there's a lot of stories in general that they work because they're simple. You don't have to get too complex with things. It's just good character work. The Rock last night burying the town he was in, great character work. So I like where they're going with this. I like the direction they're going in. We're going to see probably Cody's answer on Monday, if not SmackDown next week, because Rock is scheduled for SmackDown in Dallas next week, so we'll see what happens there. Makes sense. I think everything makes logical sense right now. I hope that Seth Rollins will be healthy, and we'll go from there. So the other thing that they did last night on SmackDown was Dakota Kai reaffirmed her heel turn. She was already a heel, but I mean she stayed a heel, faked out Bayley, and the Kabuki Warriors, put a beat down on Bayley. So that doesn't surprise me. Again, they're stacking the deck against Bayley. They're very logical stuff, Stack the deck. Make it feel like she's going to have to go through mountains and dragons. Have that knight slay that dragon. That's beautiful storytelling, and it always works. Also, LA Knight and AJ Styles, you can tell they're on a collision course for WrestleMania. I said that I've been saying that since December, okay, in my Discord. I may have even talked about it here on a video, but that's been the plan for a while. There's some newsletter guys who say, "Oh, I don't know what LA Knight's going to be doing at WrestleMania." Well, I do. How do I know and you don't? No, but seriously, it's true. And LA Knight, AJ Styles, AJ, like I mentioned before, there's been talk of him kind of winding down a bit. So again, it would not surprise me if AJ Styles ends up putting over LA Knight, just because he seems to be like. There was talk of him retiring a couple years ago. Maybe it'll be next year at WrestleMania. I don't know, but he seems to be winding down. So, but maybe he becomes a part-timer. I mean, that could also be his story. Not the story, not the one that Cody's going to finish, but his story. I will be back tomorrow, and I'm going to be reviewing the AEW Revolution 2023 pay-per-view, headlined by Samoa Joe, Swerve Strickland, and Hangman Page, and Sting's last match, which I think is closing the show. I think Sting's I think, I could be wrong, but that's the co-main event of the show with the world title, so I'll definitely be covering that here on World of Geekdom. I've been having fun covering wrestling, man, both companies. Even for better or for worse, the bad stories, the good stories. I do want to do another video about Vince McMahon and kind of give my thoughts on the new information coming out. And I got to do it. I've been busy as hell. I mean, I haven't uploaded on here as much as I need to because I got a bunch of other projects. But I'm still here. It's just I got to get stuff done. Anyways, y'all, take care. See you soon.